friends, winter is coming. They still say that? Is that still? I don't think it is. Well, maybe not exactly winter as of when I'm filming this video, but we're heading out of fall and heading into that cooler weather. And with that in mind, I wanted to talk about some fragrances that will have you smelling
like a king.
Or just like really good. You could just be smelling really good. Because technically you could be a king and smell like crap. So, you know. Now, if you are in the Southern Hemisphere watching this, then how's it heating up down there? Summer coming along well? Yeah? Good. Everything I'm gonna talk to you about is gonna be linked in the description below, so if you wanna smell like the man, get ready. Because we're starting off with Dunhill right here. That was actually worked out pretty well. Landed like logo up and everything. Agarwood, that's the name of this one. They really went all out trying to come up with a unique name. We should just name it one of the notes. Good job, good job.
You're so smart. You're so effing smart.
Now, word on the street is that Dunhill has pretty much axed like everything fragrance-wise. At least I think that's what it is. Maybe it's just the icon fragrances, I don't know. But as of this video, you can still find this crazy cheap, all things considered, because this is like their signature line. They're higher end, they're elevated fragrances, and you can find it for like 60 bucks or something. And this is gonna be one of the absolute best ones from this entire lineup right here. This stuff is top notch. When you smell it, the quality is there. It's a very wearable oud. It has a good amount of spice in there, so you're gonna get saffron off the top, gives you this nice little sweetness. You also have suede leather in here and iris, so again, very high-end, refined, smooth smelling. Even has a touch of tobacco as well. I mean, you put all those notes together, can you really go wrong? Technically, yes, but the answer I was looking for is no. This stuff, absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. Now, do be aware if you're a younger guy and you're looking for something that is more, you know, loud, super sweet, it's not this. And I know I bring that up sometimes, but it's just because I don't want somebody who's like 18 to go, oh, it sounds great, and then rush out and buy it, when what they're more looking for is something like the Most Wanted, or the Most Wanted Parfum, which is the next fragrance in today's video. Ginger woods and bourbon vanilla. That is pretty much your note breakdown right here. Stuff smells absolutely killer. Fall, winter, daytime, or evening. Obviously it does lean a little bit more toward evening use or like a date night or night out or something like that. What makes this one work so well is it does have that vanilla forward scent profile. So it's got that sweetness, that warmth that you kind of have grown to expect from a fall wintertime fragrance. But then it has this really nice, zingy, fresh, spicy opening that grabs attention right away. So it doesn't just immediately start with like a boatload of vanilla dumped right on your head. Instead, it kind of leads you into that. It just gives you that little touch of freshness off the top, which works extremely well. And then as it dries down, that's when it goes ahead and brings out that dump truck of vanilla. Absolutely killer stuff. Also, of course, as I brought up, the original, The Most Wanted, that works really well also during fall and winter time. And surprisingly enough, The Most Wanted Eau de Toilette Intense, extremely popular, more so than you or even I might have expected as far as just retail sales. That one works really well if you're looking for a more versatile fragrance, like an anytime type of scent. But if we're talking just straight fall and winter, from The Most Wanted, it's this one and the original. All right, guys, the next one is absolutely fire. It makes me want to scream, power! But I won't do that. Before we get to that one though, I would like to give you some codes that also make me scream the P word. And here they are. Joma Shop codes only work within the Joma Shop app, so be aware that you have to download the app if you want to use those codes. But you can use them whenever you want to save yourself some cash money. And then I also have codes for the Perfume Box, Frag Flags, Beauty House, and many other stores. So anytime you shop at those stores, use those codes. The next fragrance, you cannot escape it. It is inevitable. It's Boss Bottled Absolu. This little thing right here keeps weaseling its way into my brain. Every time I pass by the fragrance, I'm like, that smells pretty good. Let me go ahead and just grab it and wear it again. They have definitely put something in here. Not fragrance ingredients, but something more sinister, something more addictive. And they didn't let us know. It's the only explanation, because this one I just keep coming back to over.
I'm an addict.
Am I putting a dent in this thing? I can't tell. Yeah, a little dent. I had to hold it up to the light because you can't really see through here right now. So what does this one have on deck? Well, it has incense, it has myrrh, it has patchouli, leather, and cedar. Of course, smells a bit similar to Carlisle by Parfums de Marly, though maybe ever so slightly more wearable than that one and a lot cheaper. The performance is there, it lasts, it projects, it gets you noticed. It is gonna be more of an evening fragrance, but honestly, who cares? Like, I will wear this at any opportunity. Bottled Absolu, fire. Let's go with this one next. Le Male Elixir by Jean-Paul Gaultier. Some people may go Le Parfum. Some people may go Elixir Absolu, and both of those choices are valid. Both of them really good, both of them would work. I'm gonna go with this one. It is sweet. It's got a lot of like honey in there, so a little syrupy, a little sticky sweet. Has tobacco as well. Not a whole heck of a lot of tobacco, just a little touch of it in there. And it is quite similar to Le Parfum. So if you're familiar with that one, but you've never smelled this one for some reason, if you smell this, you'll go, okay, yeah, I get it. You can draw a line from one to the other. Maybe not quite as much powder in this one. It's a little bit more outgoing, you could say, but a lot of people are gonna find the Le Parfum the classier of the two. So really kind of depends on what vibe you're going for. I just love the sweetness in this one. I think it works extremely well. And of course, with it being an elixir and having a ton of sweet notes in there, pretty strong. Once again. It is really popular also, so you're gonna see that fragrance pop up a lot. You know, it's one of the ones that is a bestseller, so is this one right here. Bottled Absolu, really popular within the fragrance community, but as far as like actual sales numbers in the US, it is nowhere close to these two. And of course the Dunhill, that's totally under the radar. Let's see guys, let's keep it real classy with the next one. How about Pasha de Cartier Parfum. So again, this one is not gonna be as much for you younger guys out there. This is gonna be more like middle-aged and up for the most part, because it does have a lot of that original Pasha de Cartier style to it, a lot of that DNA still in this one, but it's more modern. It is more wearable for more people, especially during fall and winter time. Has a nice booziness to it, a lot of sandalwood in there as well. It also has some benzoin and tonka in there. It's got this kind of barbershop vibe to it that sits underneath those boozy, warmer, woodsy notes. So when you smell it, it's not just like a straight up slap in the face of clean barbershop energy. It's a much deeper, richer take on that style of scent. And it does not have an overload of sweetness to it, which is gonna give it a slightly more unique feel against a lot of the more popular fragrances out nowadays. Let's go for like a wintertime classic type of scent next. Spicebomb Extreme by Viktor&Rolf. Everybody knows this one. Really strong, really powerful. I feel like Spicebomb Extreme compared to the original Spicebomb, even more wearable than that one. Which if you're not really familiar with the lineup, you would think, well, how is that? You know, the original Spicebomb, of course, a bomb of spice, but this is the extreme version, so it should be even more aggressive, you know, harder to pull off potentially. But it's not, because it is smoothed out a little bit. It has a great touch of sweetness to it. It's got black vanilla in there. As I said, it's a bit smoother off the top than the original Spicebomb, but it does still pack a massive punch. Like, this stuff lasts forever, projects heavily. A lot of people are gonna think of this as like a holiday fragrance. You know, basically the type of scent that you bust out end of November and wear it through the new year, like that type of scent profile. And I will say, when it's snowing outside, if you live somewhere where you get snow, some of you live somewhere where you get a ton, some of you live somewhere where you get none, but if you do live somewhere where it snows, just that vibe of being indoors with the fireplace going, you know, it's moonlit outside, you've got the snow falling and it's sparkling on the ground. This fragrance, tailor-made for that situation. Not just that situation, but just when you smell it, you can almost picture yourself there. Great stuff, big compliment puller. And if we're talking Spicebomb, you can also rock with infrared, the Eau de Parfum or the Eau de Toilette. The Eau de Toilette probably a little bit more appealing to younger guys, got a little more sweetness in there. The Eau de Parfum gonna be slightly more refined. Night Vision also can be considered a little bit generic compared to some of the other Spicebombs, but it's good for compliments if you're after that. And you could also rock with something like Bulgari Man in Black, which smells kind of similar to the original Spicebomb, but it has this introduction of rum along with leather and tobacco and basically every masculine note you could think of, so some other options too. Let's switch it up next with Acqua de Jo Elixir by Giorgio Armani. Magnetic cap, yes. So this is gonna be a different type of fall and wintertime fragrance because it's an Acqua de Joe. And I do wanna point out, you could also rock with Acqua de Joe Parfum. That's gonna give you a little bit more of a typical Acqua de Joe vibe. And I don't mean typical in a negative way, just it smells more like Acqua de Joe, or what people would think of as Acqua de Joe. This one right here smells a bit like a mix of Dior's Fahrenheit, or Fahrenheit Cologne, which was basically a replacement of sorts for Acqua Fahrenheit, essentially taking the Fahrenheit DNA and trying to summarize it, make it better for summer. That's what those fragrances were. They still have a little bit of that violet petrol gasoline feel to them, just nowhere near as much as something like the original Fahrenheit. So it's like taking that aspect from Dior's Fahrenheit Cologne and matriculating it and mixing it into Acqua de Joe. So it gives you a different kind of interesting vibe. You have some freshness there, you have aquatic vibes, but then at the same time, it has a little more of a deep aspect to it than you might expect from other Acqua de Joes. And so it can give you a really nice change of pace fragrance for fall and winter time. And in typical Elixir fashion, it is more expensive than the other Acqua de Joes. Oh, that's actually not a benefit. Oh, that sucks.
We put Elixir on the name, that means we can charge 50% more, and all of the suckers will buy it.
Oh, I was possessed by the CEO of a fragrance company. After that, let's go a little bit under the radar. The fragrance line, everybody knows, but it's a flanker that a lot of people skip. It's Bad Boy Extreme. Extreme. This is a fragrance that I feel like you grow to appreciate more the more that you wear it. So it's gonna have that cacao, you know, that chocolatey feel that Bad Boy is known for. Also, of course, tonka in here, patchouli, you have vetiver, touch of incense. It has kind of a nuttiness to me when I first spray it on. A nice, almost slightly creamy sweetness. Really, really appealing, great push, great projection. Very vaguely reminiscent of something like taking the original Bad Boy and taking little bits and pieces of Invictus Victory Elixir and sprinkling it alongside of that Bad Boy DNA. And I just think that for fall and winter time, this stuff crushes. I mean, you don't have to worry about reapplying or anything like that. People love this stuff. It has enough of its own vibe that it stands out. It doesn't become too redundant, at least not for me. And where it's been overlooked generally, it's the type of fragrance that can do pretty much everything you want it to do that not as many people are wearing. Then we got this right here, Gentleman's Society Ombre. I have said this before, I will say it again. Of the Gentleman's Society fragrances that are out now, this one is to me the best. This one is the one to own. So it brings back the iris, but it also has the narcissus from Gentleman's Society in here. You also get tobacco, you have amber, of course, hence the name. Or I guess an ambery type scent profile, that's the better way to say it. You've got woods, a touch of aromatic notes, and also vanilla in here as well. Good dose of vanilla, a little bit powdery, but still smells amazing. Just ultra classy, ultra sexy, and another one of those fragrances that just grows on you more and more and more. I would put this one right alongside the best ones from the Gentleman lineup, Reserve Privé, you know, the original Eau de Parfum, Boisé, Eau de Toilette Intense, any of those. I would put this right up there alongside them. It is that good, top notch. And I gotta get at least one Invictus Victory in here, and I'm gonna put in Absolu, the newest one. Cool looking matte black bottle. The fragrance itself, very strong once again. So you don't have to worry about reapplying. You don't have to worry about that at all. Unless you just hate everyone around you and then reapply all day.
Just blast it on. I'm not locked in here with you. You're locked in here with me.
So this one is going to remind you a bit, of course, of Victory and Victory Elixir that came before it. It has, though, a different approach. Off the top, you have black pepper. It's this fresh, spicy blast instead of having an overdose of vanilla. It has a nice warm aspect to it, some amber in there, sandalwood as it dries down. So it's taking more of that tact with the Invictus Victory DNA. More a mix of fresh and warm spicy and woods, along with a good dose of sweetness that cuts through due to that amber. It does not get as much love as Victory Elixir does, and I do think that Victory Elixir overall is the more appealing fragrance for me. But in its own right, this smells really nice, very pleasant, and that different style that it takes to the Victory DNA might actually work much better for you if you don't want something that's just overdosed on vanilla. So there we go. Those fragrances right there will have you locked and loaded.
You be smelling pretty good. People gonna like how you smell, boy.
Again, all those linked in the description. Leave me a comment below and let me know what is your fragrance during fall, wintertime, whenever, that makes you feel like a king. can be whatever. It can be Axe Phoenix, because I wore that a lot when I was younger. Don't tell anybody that though. Thank you guys for hanging with me. Stay safe out there. Take care of yourselves. See you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you later.